Oh my God! Oh, you mute, you lose is back. All right, guys, am I gonna have to mute, you lose? We'll see. Dean Withers muted him. I managed to get him to leave while chanting, "You leave, you lose, you leave, you lose." And you didn't fare much better with Dean Withers. But I'm gonna take the W over Dean Withers because I didn't have to mute you to get you to leave, and Dean Withers did. So let's talk to you mute, you lose. I know he's of age; he's a regular caller. Let's see what you mute, you lose wants to talk about today.
I completely destroyed Dean in a debate, like 2 times that I debated him.
That's adorable. What would you like to talk about today?
So I don't know what you're talking about. I lost to him.
That's adorable. What would you like to talk about
Dean
today?
couldn't follow his own logic.
Okay, I'm sure that you couldn't follow Dean's logic, and that's why that's your impression of the situation. Now, what would you like to talk about today?
Dean's logic was trying to sit here and say that Donald Trump called for 6 Democrat senators to be unalived, which he didn't.
He did do that, and if you
just made a statement. I was responding to your statement.
If you really think that you roasted Dean Withers so well, go to the VODs because they're on YouTube. Find them, pull the conversations, post them yourselves, and show it to the world. But you're in my call with me right now.
You know how I know I won. You know how I know I won with him is the fact that he kept having me up there every single time, and he wanted to talk to me because he knows he lost. And not only that, but you sit here and you say that billionaires are destroying this country and all this other stuff, and that for some reason, like, Democrats are better with the economy. Look at this. Look at the blue states versus the red states. Every single blue state is in a horrible deficit, where Florida, Texas, and a lot of these red states are in a surplus.
A deficit of what? Like a state finance
a spending deficit, a budget deficit. They can't manage their money because they're spending way more than they actually make.
What's your source for the deficit for states?
Just go look. Just go look at the deficits. Google, does California have a state deficit? Does New York have a state deficit? New York has a state deficit of, I think it's like $20 million, where Florida has a surplus of $18 million. California has a deficit of $18 million, where Texas has a surplus, I think, of $18 million too. I mean, these people are flooding Texas and Florida because our economies are doing way better under Republican leadership than versus blue states where you're
conflating whether a state has a deficit with whether the economy is doing well in that state. You understand that those are two different things, right?
Okay, so the way you manage your money, right, is what I'm talking about.
You're also wrong about. I'm just going to point out that you are wrong about a lot of the statistics you brought up. So I'm going to ask you for a source.
So correct one. Put up a source and correct me.
No, you made the claim. I'm going to ask you.
You won't do it.
Yeah,
you won't do it. You won't do it. I told you what to Google. I told you what. Look, this is the problem. You guys don't believe this is everywhere. Okay, I'll put $1,000 on it right now that California has a state deficit. Would you put $1,000 that California has a state deficit?
I'm going to go back to.
Why are you scared to put it? Why are you scared to put it on there?
I don't gamble on here. You can't say
that's not gambling. If you know, if you said my statistics was wrong, why don't you put $1,000 on it, buddy?
Placing a bet on something is gambling. I'm not. You're
not. You're not standing by what you say. You're not willing to.
I asked you one question at the beginning that you have not answered yet. You understand that it is different for a state to have a deficit than it is for its economy to be doing bad. Those are different things. You understand that, right?
If you're spending way more than you make, is that good or bad?
Answer the question. You understand that there's a difference between
dude.
You're refusing to answer my question.
No, it's a part of the economy, buddy. Spending is a part of economy. Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
Well, government spending is good for the economy, which would actually suggest that if a state had a larger deficit, its local economy would be doing better.
It depends on what it's for.
Correct.
It depends on what it's for.
Correct.
Right?
Which is why I'm pointing out that a state having a deficit is not an indicator of its economy doing bad. It's a little bit. Let me talk for more than 2 seconds because it is my live, and I'm going to try to not have to mute you. But I know this is your tactic because it's in your fucking username. But so I'll say this: it's the same argument that people make about the post office costing money. Oh, the post office costs so much money. It's like, yeah, it's a service. It costs money. It makes life better for Americans.
It's not the same argument.
It's a government service.
The same argument.
The things that the government does in a state are government services, and yes, they cost money, and they make life better, and they make the economy better.
They don't make life better. If they made life better, why is everybody flooding to other states?
So,
and not only that, what you just said right now.
Do you think that it's necessarily bad for the government to spend money on its people?
Let me respond to what you were just saying. So first off, you're sitting here saying, and you're the one conflating the issue, right? So the fact is that yeah, you could have a year, say like if they were working on something and they were devoting a lot of money into roads or this or that, and guess what? They spent and overspent, but then they made it up the next year and they actually had a balanced budget. Then you could argue like, okay, well they had a bad year that year, but they recovered it this year and their quality of life is good. But at the same token, when you have California and New York having consecutive years of being in a deficit, that shows that it's the money is not being spent very well. And not only that, but when you look at California's roads,
if you look at
my God,
New York and California,
that's exactly what it is.
Dude, listen,
that's exactly what it means. It means their economy is not doing that great.
You have to let me talk. Like I know that your whole thing is
you're not even letting me talk.
Since you called, you've been
hey man, you know what? I'm going to take this W. I'm going to take this W.
You're going to take the W instead of letting me respond to what you're saying.
You're gonna keep running. You wouldn't put $1,000 on it. You don't know what you're talking about.
If you leave, you lose. If you leave, you lose.
That's fine, dude. I won already. I already won.
You're not letting me respond to what you're saying.
This is an easy warm up.
Dude, can I respond to it? Oh, he left. He ran away. Dude, I love talking to that guy. He's so easy.